Here we go, level design for Polyboy, important stuff. The first stage is going to be a very simple cage-like structure where you have to move from point A to point B. You start off in the bottom left corner and you have to advance by first learning how to jump over easier obstacles, and then you have to jump on top of obstacles, jump on higher obstacles, you know, easy stuff. Getting to the top of things, you know, if you fall down, you have a... never mind. Move on. You'll have to coordinate your jumps or you'll fall through and you have to start over, sort of, you know, to kind of be a dick to the player if they can't play the game properly, you know, if you don't know basic platformers, how they work. So this is pretty easy, you know, teaching the player how to jump, how to time things, moving platforms and all that stuff, you know, you need moving platforms. We're also going to have checkpoints in case you die, because there are going to be enemies in the game, sort of. So, you know, you don't have to do all that boring jumping all over again. We have stationary enemies. This isn't the exact position of the enemies as they're going to be in the game. We just put them like this so we kind of know what kind of difficulty curve we're going for. But let's start off with stationary enemies that just sit around and don't do anything. Basically, if you collide with them, you take damage. Then we're going to move on. It's going to be a little block here, and a stationary enemy that breathes fire. Or projectiles, anything, really. It's just cool. So, the idea of having a platform here is to shield the player to, you know, in case you're scared shitless. Oh my god, there's projectiles coming towards me. So you can kind of jump on top and time your jumps between the projectiles that come from the enemy and kind of shoot them to death in time in case you're still a klutz that don't know how to do platforming. You move on another moving platform. This is the part where you're going to learn how to do the wall jump. You can't basically progress without wall jumping here. You can't just jump over the obstacles. Your jumping isn't that great. This is the part where you learn how to dash. You can't jump over this gap because the ceiling is too low. So you'll have to dash through. We're not sure how big the gaps are going to be or how far you can dash. It's just, you know, so we have an idea in the meantime. And if you fall through, as usual, you have to do the whole thing over again. Just to make sure the player actually learns, so it's not like, oh shit, I got that on accident and stuff. And this is just clutter, we're not sure what to put here, so, you know. And this is the second part where you gotta use the wall jump, but if you fall down, you gotta start over. Anyway, you gotta get up to the top. There's some more clutter, we're not sure what to put here, we'll just put whatever we feel like, maybe some slightly tougher enemies, stuff, and there's your goal. You gotta get there. It's pretty simple. So that's basically the first stage, how we thought it might look like. It's a pretty simple structure, you know, just to get the player used to the controls and basically just learn the limits of the game. And I think that's a good start. Now, we haven't really gotten that far. We only got ideas for future stages, but they're most likely not going to look like this. They're going to be like a longer, like, you know, Super Mario Brothers kind of style, where you got some pitfalls and platforms you can jump over and enemies in between. Sometimes there's no ground, you only got like platforms to jump over. You know, mostly should navigate yourself to prove a bit more of a challenge. I mean, what the hell? I mean, you can't really fall and die. There's no fall damage in this game because fall damage is for losers. We are going to keep some environmental hazards, though. Yeah, I kind of brain farted just now.
You need to zoom in a bit because the camera
right.
can't pick it all up.
Right. You gotta see what I'm showing. But really, most of it is just in the whole planning stage. Like I said, pitfalls, maybe pools of lava, but since it's cyberspace, it could be like broken wires and crap. So Polyboy gets electrocuted like the dumbass he is if he falls into a pit full of angry wires, I don't know. Yeah. And we're also going to have a lot more enemies. We're not just going to have, you know, stupid things that sit around and wait for you to come for them. We'll also have enemies that chase you around, both in the air and on the ground, and with varying degrees of intelligence. So some enemies only chase you a little bit, some chase you all the way to the end of the stage, some are really fast, some are, yeah, you get the idea.